Just between you and me from 1966. Folks, it's time for a government talk program today, this morning hosted by Scott Johnson. And today's guest is the Bedford County Schools Superintendent, Dr. Tammy Garrett. Scott, take it away.
Thank you, Producer Chase. This is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting in Shelbyville, Tennessee, Bedford County, about 50 miles south of Nashville, 25 miles south of Murfreesboro, and the lovely, rolling and very hot green hills, well, kind of green, southern middle Tennessee, but we appreciate the weather out here, and folks don't get too hot and stay hydrated out there. It's that time of the month where we have in here Dr. Tammy Garrett, the Bedford County School Superintendent, to talk about the many things that are going on in Bedford County schools. Good morning, Dr. Garrett.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you in here, and we'll just remind our listening audience that I know school's out right now, but before you know it, you guys will be back in session again. And folks, 20% of our population in Bedford County, Monday through Friday, is in a Bedford County school. About 10,000 between students. I know you got over 9,000 students now.
Yes.
And with faculty and staff, probably another 1,300.
Yes.
So we're about 50,000. So, yep, that's about 20% in a Bedford County school.
No stress at all, right?
None whatsoever. I just thought we'd remind you what's going on. So, anyway, I know you got a big event coming up, man, really soon here in less than a month, I guess about 3 weeks, the grand opening of Cartwright Elementary School.
Yes, it is.
That's exciting, isn't it?
It is so exciting. There's so many teachers and community members and students and parents are driving by and they can't wait to see it.
I know. I've driven through there a couple times on patrol at the Sheriff's Department just looking around, and what a nice facility. And I know that, for me, being a public safety guy, the biggest issue is, of course, getting kids out of portable classrooms.
Yes.
I know that's going to get most of them in the city of Shelbyville, not all of them, but most of them out of portable classrooms, correct?
I think
at the other schools.
Yes. As soon as we have Liberty finished, we should be out all together. So we're looking forward to that. But we're hoping everybody can come out and see the school.
July 11th. Do you recall what time it is? Because I forgot.
5 o'clock.
5 p.m. All right, make it a little cooler outside.
Yes.
July 11th, 5 p.m. Everybody's invited, right?
Because
everybody pays for this, so everybody's invited.
It's a community school, right?
It is, and there's a lot of parking out there. I know she got that interesting serpentine driveway,
yes.
So car riders, you can get them off the road and
yes.
into your. That was a good planning effort there.
Well, we talked to a lot of folks and got that done, so we don't have a issue on Fairfield Pike in the afternoons.
Roger that. So, folks, come on out July 11th at 5 p.m., 1700 for you military types, and come to the grand opening of Cartwright Elementary School. I know it's going to have a capacity of maybe, 800 students, but you're going to start
yes.
with maybe 600 or 500 something?
About 550. I think
okay.
It's 554 or something like that. And we'll start July 11th, 5 p.m., ribbon cutting at the front door, and then we'll offer tours.
So folks are going to be able to walk through the facility,
yes.
not just see a ribbon cutting once politicians do that and then leave.
That is correct.
Okay.
And we have a school board meeting that night as well, so if they want to stay for that, they can.
Is it going to be at Cartwright?
At Cartwright.
Okay.
At 6 o'clock, so 5 to 6 will be tours, and then the board meeting will be at 6 o'clock.
Well, that's an exciting time, and I know in a lot of, we don't open that many schools over the years. We do additions and stuff, but not usually new schools.
Yes.
So this will be a great event, folks, July 11th, 5 p.m. Come on out for the ribbon cutting right off Fairfield Pike on the north end of town there in Shelbyville. Now, I always call you the construction manager because you have other projects going on as well. I know you've got, talk a little bit about Liberty School and Thomas School.
I got pictures this week of equipment on the ground, so they are working at both places, at Liberty.
Construction equipment's moving.
Yes, we're excited. Hopefully, we can be done the 1st of January, 1st of the year. So they move very quickly on Cartwright, so we're hoping the same thing happens here.
And so it'll go a little bit into the school year. With the construction going on.
Yes, it will.
It's an addition at both of them, correct?
At both. Thomas will be 4 classrooms and 10 classrooms at Liberty.
Outstanding. And that gets rid of those portable classrooms at Liberty.
That were about 20 years old.
I'd say that's probably the newest one was 20 years old. So that, to me, is very exciting that we're going to do that and get that done. So congratulations on that. I know that'll probably go very well. We know it will. And we look forward to getting the rest of those kids out of the portable classrooms with those additions. Now, this is that time of year where it's the end of the school year. You're already looking at next school year, right? So, is there any particular staff that you need? Because I know this is a time of year you're in a hiring mode.
Yes.
Any shortages or emphasis areas that you need?
The one that we need right now are CDC teachers, which would be special ed, the comprehensive, those students who have severe needs. And so we need 2 of those. We'll have 3 of those classrooms at Cartwright. We have 1 filled, so we need 2 more.
Okay.
So if anyone is interested in that, they would need to reach out to the principal, which is Whitney Yost.
Whitney Yost at Cartwright Elementary.
Cartwright, and the facility is amazing. We built it specifically for CDC.
So you get to work in a brand new school.
Yes, brand new school.
That's designed for CDC type activities.
Has a shower in the room, changing table in the room for those students who need that, as well as a calming room. So we're very excited about that.
Can folks transition? Because I know that the state of Tennessee's got like 3 or 4 programs to become a teacher.
Yes.
Can you do that in special ed too? Or I know it's sometimes some things you can, some things you can't.
You can't have a permit in special ed. That's why it makes it the most difficult.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Because it's federal law overrides, and that's the IDEA.
Most of special ed is funded by the federal government, correct?
Some
or
of
a lot of it.
A lot of it.
Yeah, that's the way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, folks, if you got a special ed certification out there, you want to work in a brand new facility in a brand new school, contact the principal at Cartwright Elementary out there and go to work.
Yes.
I know you have some other changes in staff that are going on right now, central office and some other and principals and stuff.
Yes.
So what's going on?
This year we have a couple of principal changes. Patrick Hasty will be going from Harris. He was at Harris. He'll be going to Cascade Middle.
Okay.
So he'll be the new principal there. Then Kathy Reed wanted a different challenge, and so she's going to be our ELL coordinator.
Longtime principal, now moving to the central office, I guess?
34 years. She'll be moving to the central office.
Okay.
We did away with what used to be the director of curriculum and instruction because there's just a significant need with our ELL population continuing to grow. And so Kathy will take that on and make sure that we have someone coordinating that huge program, because you get a lot of funding out of that, and plus you have a lot of federal regulations, and our numbers are such now, 6 of our 14 schools are majority Hispanic. And so we've got a great need, and plus that we've grown in that area this year alone. So
that's the demographic, I guess, and that's one of the reasons we got some TISA money from the state of Tennessee but that's based on a lot of times on there. I know they changed their model on how they fund, right?
Yes.
It used to be kind of a per student thing.
Yes.
And now it's based more on needs.
It is, on what the student actually needs, the services that they need.
Which is a great way to do it.
Yes.
And I know Bedford County benefited from that, obviously.
We did. And we'll benefit even more next year because our economically disadvantaged numbers have increased and our English language learners numbers has increased. And so that increases the state funding.
I know at one time we had a discussion about maybe a learning academy or something for ELL, and I know the state of Tennessee allows you to do that
yes.
at schools, so I guess that's just something maybe taking a look at. Or
as soon as we can get space, when
there's a big thing, right?
When TCAT builds their facility, which I went down 231 this week, looks like they're making progress on their new facility.
Okay, all right. More than just metal girders up there now, right?
Yeah, so as soon as, we bought that building, so the old building, as soon as we can get that
out on Madison Street, next to Duck River Electric out there.
So when we can move in that, which should be next fall.
Is that where the central office is going to move?
Central office will be able to move. Plus, we'll have some space for students as well. So between that and our current central office, we would have a place to do the Newcomer Academy.
Okay, that'd be fantastic. It'd probably help those students a lot.
Yes.
Transition quicker, I would guess.
Yes, and we're going to study it over this year, put a committee together, visit some places. There are not a lot of places in Tennessee that have the population of ELL that we have. And so we may have to go outside and the state and say, what can we do to make sure that we're educating this population and making progress as effectively and efficiently as we can.
Sure. I mean, because that transition obviously helps the students. It helps them transition faster,
Yes.
helps them learn quicker.
Yes, and you want to immerse them in the language. And in Tennessee, we're an English-only state. Like some states do bilingual. They teach some in Spanish and some in English, but Tennessee is an English-only.
Okay.
So it looks a little different than other places.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll look forward to seeing what happens there, and you guys moving your facility down the road there.
Yes.
Just down the street a little bit.
Give us a little room.
Well, I know. I was going to say you guys are busting at the seams where you're at now. So I know this is a time of the year. Of course, the state legislature's been out of session, for a couple months now, or a month and a half, whatever it's been. But they always pass laws.
Yes.
That's our job to do that.
Yes.
And is there any that affect education, K through 12?
There are several. You'll see this month at our June board meeting, and then July board meeting, we will have to make some changes to our policies because of the laws. A couple that I can think of right off the bat would be Visitors Code of Conduct. The state legislature voted that each system has to have a Visitors Code of Conduct if you come on a school campus of how you have to act. And if you don't follow that, then you can't come. And so we'll be passing that hopefully tonight, and then we'll be able to establish our code of conduct that we can roll out to our folks.
That really tells you there's been a problem across the state.
Yes.
If they pass a law where you have to have a code of conduct for people coming into a school, and that's kind of sad commentary in a way. I mean, that you have to do that. I mean, I know it's state law and you got to do it, but
yes.
Folks, if you're going into school, it's just there's a bunch of children around.
Yes.
Of course, I've been there when folks weren't acting right.
Yes, we've got to make sure we keep our language the way it should be.
Yes, absolutely.
No violence and things like that. So I think they had some problems across the state with that, and assaulting some principals and teachers, and so here we go.
Well, we do want to thank the state of Tennessee again for funding the SRO. Deputy sheriff in every single school in the state of Tennessee, if you so choose to do that. And Bedford County did choose to do that.
Yes.
So you do have that presence in every school now.
I've heard such great feedback from parents on the ability for us to do that. We have been lucky, and ours are good, and we've been able to find them. Some places have not.
You know, talking to the chief deputy a few weeks ago about that, I mean, I know that they felt that it might be a challenge, but folks like working here at the Sheriff's Department. They like working in the school system here. So you're right, because they're having a real struggle, because it's very competitive for certified law enforcement people right now. And because of this new requirement, not a requirement, but an ability to put an SRO in every single school in the state of Tennessee. So it's very competitive. And
we really have some good ones. I have to brag on our SROs and the program that we have right now. This morning I had a meeting with a student and parent who may have had some struggles, and
it happens.
The SRO came to my office and was there to help us with this situation. I just can't brag on them enough. We've got some outstanding ones, and Sergeant Harvey's doing a great job. Yep. Just a great program.
And she's been doing it for, probably 20 years.
Yes.
She's one of the first ones in Bedford County, if I remember correctly, and got promoted to sergeant to help supervise, because there's so many now across the board. And I think more so than even just having security at the schools, at least it gives these youngsters a positive role model in law enforcement, where their first experience isn't them coming in and arresting daddy in their home, so they think negatively about law enforcement. They have some positive role models. Right?
Yes, and these SROs that we have care about kids, and all the time they're communicating with kids. A lot of them coach different sports and volunteer. It's just a great program.
Excellent. Folks, we're talking to Dr. Tammy Garrett, the Bedford County Schools Superintendent here in Shelbyville. We're going to take a 60-second break and be right back.
You know, shopping for home furnishings doesn't have to be a chore. You want to shop with a name you can trust, who has the better buy for both durability and affordability. Well, good news for folks of Middle Tennessee. There's a hometown source to get you the top brands for less, with wide selection, multiple financing options available, and best of all, honest folks that care for their customers with friendly and helpful customer service. Who's that, you ask? Well, any Shelbyville local can tell you it's gotta be Kincaid's. Kincaid's is a brand source store with $19 billion of buying power. That means you'll be getting the very best value. That's Kincaid Service Company, where service has been their middle name since 1934. Come browse their 11,000 square foot showroom today at 400 Madison Street, or give them a call at 931-684-5662. You can also follow them on Facebook and check out all their selection online at kincaidservice.com. 931-684-5662.
Folks, this is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting. We're talking to Dr. Tammy Garrett, the Bedford County Schools Superintendent here in Shelbyville, Tennessee. Dr. Garrett, when we went to the commercial break, we were talking about some of the requirements, laws, whatever the state of Tennessee has passed. Oh, before I forget, thank you, Pat Marsh and Shane Reeves, for passing that where we can have an SRO in every school.
Yeah.
They were instrumental in doing that. But anyway, they passed some things. I know you mentioned before we got on the air that you have to have an artificial intelligence policy now for schools.
Yes, you do.
What does that entail?
Starting July the 1st, we have to have one in place where you could only use certain programs because the state really wants to monitor. So our technology staff will have a list that students and teachers can use. The other part of that is, they have to know, students have to know that it's a support. It's not to replace your learning. It's a support tool. So you would have to make sure that you teach the students when it is a good idea, because sometimes artificial intelligence can save you time, but sometimes it can replace the learning. So we have to make sure that we're able to balance that out. And then as workers too, as employees, you have to make sure you're not stealing someone else's work and acting like it's your work, so you have to make sure that you tell. So there's a lot of different things that we have to have. We just have to make sure this year, starting July 1, that we communicate the expectations around artificial intelligence.
It's a tool in a toolbox, not the end all to be all.
Yes, that is true.
Basically, I'm harkening back to being at the University of Tennessee writing term papers. I probably could have used something back then.
Yes.
But anyway, right now, let's talk a little bit about, I know you guys have really expanded your career technical education, your CTE, what some folks refer to as the old VOTEC type training, the programs, and I know a little over half our students go directly into the workforce when they graduate versus going on to TCAT or college. So what's the status of that program?
We have really made great gains in our career and technical education. When I came here in 2021, I know that's what I heard from a lot of the community members, the commission, is, hey, we've got to improve this area of our education system. So we've really put a lot of funding to that, put a lot of our energy towards that, and we're seeing the results of that. Our high schools have been scoring very well, particularly in industry credentials that our students are earning. So, for example, there's things in food service that you can earn. There are things in nursing, all these fields that it's a certificate that you can go to your employer.
That shows you have this knowledge and you've been certified to do that by an educational institution.
Yes. So in 2021, we had about 200 of our students who earned the industry credentials, or a student may earn multiples. So this year we had 583 of those industry credentials
almost
earned.
Tripled?
Yes. So we're making
I'm doing the math right? That's almost tripled.
Yes. And that's where these students can take it and get a job. I have these skills. I've passed this test to get this, certificate.
What a great program is so critical for our young folks when they graduate, obviously, to be able to become, I hate to use the word productive citizens. That sounds kind of cliche, but I mean really to be able to earn a living, get out there, pay the bills, and because a lot of them end up starting families and everything else, and this gives them the ability right out of high school to do that. Right?
Absolutely, and to land a job, it's hard, with paying bills and the price of houses and interest rates right now, and we got to give these kids the skills to be able to get a job, pay their bills, and be great citizens.
Give them a good foundation to be able to do that. So let me say this one more time. It was a few years ago, 3 years ago, whatever. It was roughly 200 something, and now it's almost 600.
Yes,
certifications.
Yes,
industry level certifications.
And
so
half
tripled.
Of those, and half of those 583 are high level certificates, and so the state puts them in different levels.
Okay.
And so over half of ours were level 3.
I'm going to assume the higher levels probably are higher level paying jobs too. I mean, it correlates, I guess, right?
It does.
In doing that. I know you added programs out of community high school when we toured the addition out there. There's things out there. I know Cascade was adding I think an ag program out there, this is the largest ag county in the state of Tennessee. And
the students are very excited about our new programming. They are full to the max. One of the programs we've added, culinary arts, students love it. We have waiting lists. And what the students tell me is it's not just that they want...
Talking about being a chef?
Yeah, but they
culinary arts. Okay.
They don't just want a job being a chef. They want to learn life skills. That's what the kids tell me. They want to learn how to cook.
Okay.
I don't know if it's social media or parents don't have time to teach. Remember, we used to learn from our grandmother and our mothers, and the kids tell me now our parents don't have time to teach us, so we got to learn somewhere. So they love that class.
Well, there's one that's a little outside the box we probably hadn't thought about, right?
Yeah.
So you have that program.
We do. So they're learning good things, and I'm hearing great things from parents and kids about all of our courses.
Well, and being able to offer such a wide range of opportunities, what a great opportunity for our students.
I heard great feedback from our parents, too, on the implementation of block scheduling. The parents and students love it.
Yeah, change is always difficult in a way, right? I remember you guys went to block scheduling, but does it give you more time to focus on something?
It does. From what I hear from the parents, it gives them more time to focus on different subjects. They don't have 7 to study for at night. They just have the 4.
Right.
And then the next semester, they have 4 new ones.
Right.
And the parents love it. Less stress, anxiety, more family time is what I hear.
Okay.
So
all
we're
right.
doing great things.
So that's working out.
Yes.
Excellent. We got a few minutes left, Dr. Garrett. I know one of the things that I know you guys I know you don't have any of your end-of-year testing coming back yet, right?
It's starting to come back, but they won't let us release a lot of the numbers yet.
That'll be for next month.
Yes.
That'll be for the show next month. However, I know one of the big metrics that the state of Tennessee uses because it's not just you guys grading students, you're getting graded by the state, right?
Yes,
in all reality, that's the way it happens here in the state of Tennessee. That's okay. Is graduation rate. What percentage of your students enrolled, I guess, every year actually graduate?
And what they do is start from the 9th grade. They do a cohort of kids who start in the 9th grade.
So they start tracking them in 9th grade?
And those students have to graduate in 4 years to get credit for them. So if any drop out, so it's very important from 9th grade. So these would have been my first kids in 9th grade when I first came.
All right.
That just graduated.
Oh, that's exciting.
Those are always special, too.
He just went through those graduations not too long ago. Isn't that, we'll talk a little bit more about this graduation rate, but how exciting. That's probably got to be the most favorite time of year is watching those kids walk down the aisle.
There's nothing
really.
There's nothing like it to sit in front of them and look over those kids on all of the hard work that they've done and their parents have put into them and their teachers have put into them and their futures ahead of them. There's nothing like it. I love it.
And, well, congratulations to the graduating class of 2024 at all 3 of our high schools, as well as a couple of our private schools here. Good luck out there. And I know you got a good base foundation in education and pressing on. But the graduation rate, I'm sure you don't have the numbers yet. Is it getting better?
It is getting better. I have the numbers. I can't release those next month, but hopefully I can.
All right. Well, let's don't do that. But are you optimistic about releasing them?
Well, I'm very excited because it's the highest that we've ever had, and also the highest that we've ever had specifically at Shelbyville Central. So we're making a great
Which is
game.
The largest high school, if you folks don't realize it here, and think probably it's larger than the other two combined, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Close to it anyway.
It is.
And so it's a critical thing to have Central High School improving.
It is. And, even more so than what our grades are and our accountability is it giving kids a chance to be successful in life. If you have that diploma, you can get a job, you can be successful.
It's amazing. Of course, I was a career military guy, and, you had to have a high school diploma. You could get a GED equivalent in some cases, but you really needed a high school diploma for a lot of things.
Yes, and, even with our demographics sometimes can be challenging. Our numbers have gone up in English language learners. Our numbers have gone up in economically disadvantaged, but we're still making progress, and we're very excited and can't wait to share the numbers.
I know that's that's a team effort. Obviously, a lot of hard work by a lot of folks.
Yes.
To make that happen.
Yes.
On your
starting
staff.
From pre-kindergarten all the way up.
Pre-kindergarten. So we're not saying 13 years. We're saying really 14 years. Roughly. That's a long time, but I know that teachers love it when they see. My wife does this all the time. She'll say, "He's doing what now? He's the head in what department?" I remember when he was in kindergarten.
Yes.
To see somebody become a productive and successful person in the community. So congratulations on the graduation rate going up. We'll get those stats later on when you officially can release them. Because folks, if you don't know, that's a big deal. It really is. I know the way this. For the students themselves, but also for the school system.
Yes.
Overall.
We'll do a lot of celebrating.
Good deal. We're looking forward to those stats coming up. Dr. Garrett, we are basically out of time. Is there anything else you want to talk about today on this sunny June day?
Just remind folks to come out and join us July 11th, 5 o'clock at Cartwright. I think it's 1753 Fairfield Pike. And let's celebrate what we were able to accomplish together with the community, commission, school board, all of us together, and let's celebrate.
Absolutely, folks. Trust me, there's plenty of parking out there.
Yes, there is.
So if you're going out,
have water.
You'll have water. Yes, that's critical. There's plenty of parking. You can't miss the school. So if you don't know the address, it's on the west side of Fairfield Pike, right as you're going past like the Brown Lane area there in Shelbyville. Just look over to the west. You will see the school. Trust me. It's not hidden back in there. You will see it, and I would encourage you to come out on July 11th at 5 p.m., 1700 for you military types, and come out and celebrate this grand opening. Dr. Garrett, we appreciate you coming in today and everything that you and your staff do to help prepare our students here to make Bedford County a better place to live and work. Folks, this is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting, the only locally owned radio station here in Bedford County. Until next time.